Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unnamed, Unknown podcast, all about the Pats. My name is Brett Cormier. We're back with another episode, and this is an exciting episode to me. So I would just sit back, relax, and enjoy, because realistically, I guess realistically is a weird word to use there, but what we're going to go through is free agency recap. Pretty much done with free agency. We signed 9 players. Some of them most likely just depth pieces, special teams type guys, but a couple really good pickups. I love these pickups. And then we're going to do a post-free agency mock draft, because realistically, barring any other trades, maybe for whatever, maybe another receiver or something like that, maybe an edge rusher, who knows? We'll talk about that later. Barring any of that, this seems like this might be the veteran group heading into the 2026 season, which I'm very excited about. And I think realistically, the Patriots might have one of the best free agencies of the offseason. If you look at it, how the team really needed to change or to get better, I think they hit on pretty much every single one of those spots. The receiver position is a little bit whatever. We'll get into that, but let's just I'm just throwing it out there that when you look at the pickups as a whole, when you look at what the Patriots did as a whole, and I guess you could even say around the league, how the Patriots got better, how we got better is just exactly what we needed. Now, there are still, of course, missing pieces. You're not going to get everything from free agency. That's not reasonable. And if you think that's possible, that's just not possible. You can't just go in and every season and just get 13 to 15 free agents and they rejuvenate the entire team. And at some point, you have to have. I know it's a tough whatever. You can't win just off culture, but culture can get you a lot of wins, and I think the culture got the Patriots a lot of wins. And now they're getting even better talent, which they were missing a little bit last year, and I think the Patriots are gaining. And where we're going to start is with the safety position, because I think this is the best pickup of the Patriots offseason by a huge margin. And let me tell you why. Because just listen. This is the best pickup. And it's kind of the same reason why Robert Spillane was the best pickup. And that is because he can be that quarterback veteran presence that when Robert Spillane was out, the Patriots were really missing. And Javen Hawkins was great, and he was good. He was a good player. He had some issues. Of course, he wasn't the perfect player. He wasn't unbelievable. He did his job, and he did that job really well. And you can't take that away from him. And we got to really appreciate that as a fan base, and they have to appreciate that as a team. But this is a total upgrade. And you have to also remember this. Jalen Hawkins was 29 years old. It wasn't like we let go a 25, 26, 27-year-old player. He was an older player. I'm pretty sure he was older coming out of college, because it was with that COVID scenario where you could get an extra year, and he ended up getting drafted older. So realistically, Kevin Byard, 32 years old, but he just was on the first team All-Pro. He was just first team All-Pro. 7 interceptions, 9 total turnovers. I mean, he hits. He's a ball hawk. He could have had a couple other interceptions. He leads from the back, from that safety position, which we've been missing since Devin McCourty. And Hawkins was a great addition. He played great. But having a guy like Byard who knows the defensive scheme, which is really, really awesome, that he can come in and already be kind of, hey, Gonzo, if you see this, blah 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 blah, and we can break on this, and he'll be able to give insight on the defense and the corners. we'll be able to trust that he can get over the top and he can move around. Some of his interceptions, I mean, he was running from one side of the field to the other. He can still move. Look, there's a point where you have to say, okay, age might be a factor. But when age doesn't look like it's a factor, then it can't be a factor. It shouldn't be a factor. I get it. He's on the back nine of his career, but it's not over. It's not even close. He was the first team All-Pro. He was first team All-Pro. He was the best safety in the NFL this past year, this most recent year. Not like, oh, in 2019 he was an All-Pro. See if he can get back to that form. This exact season that we went to the Super Bowl, he was an All-Pro. So maybe it was the best pickup possibly of all of free agency of every team. That might have been in 1 year, $8 million or $9 million. Got him on a good deal. That gives an opening to where you filled in a spot where you can now in the draft get maybe his replacement. Get somebody that's going to work with Woodson in the future. Get somebody that can play on the backside, that can be athletic enough from the draft. A good player that you can get in like the third, fourth round because the safeties are very deep this year. So that is a very, very, very fun possibility that the Patriots could have. I am so excited for this pick. I'm so excited. Pickup. Sorry. He's very rangy, like I said. He hits. He's great. And everything that, Hawkins could do, he can do it tenfold. And we're not, this is and has to be looked at as a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade. The Bears are losing out on their number one turnover guy and their captain on the backside, on the back end. So he can move around. He can play in the box. He hit a lot of tackles for losses. He can do it all. He can tackle. He can do it all. So he's just a very exciting pickup. He's awesome. He's great. Woodson already gave him the 31. He talked about how he has a great relationship with Vrabel. And I know, look, the Titans, yeah, they might be getting a lot of guys from the Titans, and there's another one that we got to lead off free agency. But that's not really a bad thing, especially on the defensive side. Because I don't know if you remember, but when Vrabel was coaching for the Titans, they were a very good football team, and they started going downhill just because that front office just started doing the most random, awful things you've ever seen, and everything went sour from there. They just took the reins over and pretty much told Vrabel to, hey, figure it out with what I got, and it just didn't go well. But that was a really good football team, and they didn't even have a quarterback. If that's what they're trying to kind of build, that type of culture in New England, you got to be all for that. I'm all for it. I'm very excited for this. Of course, some teams have really good players, and we're getting those really good players. So, Byard, awesome. He's a great player. Got to be excited for him. Now, let's stay on the defensive side. Now that I brought it up, Dre'Mont Jones. You cannot. First of all, you can't compare. This is also a huge upgrade over Chason, and I love Chason. I think he was great for the team this year. I think he did a lot of good stuff. He seemed like a great teammate. I wish the best for him. He is awesome, and I hope he does what he did and gets better and can utilize his skill set for whoever he signed with. I forget exactly who he signed with. I think maybe even the Commanders. I forget who. I hope he does well. But what Jones brings to this defense is a different type of game. He can stop the run very well. He can rush the passer very well. He can drop back and play a little coverage. He can do everything that we that we need in this defense to be able to be successful. He was really good at stunts. He's very good at looping. He has the mind to be able to, if you got to free up the defensive tackle, He knows he has a very good technique of allowing the loop around him and doubling down on the guard and being able to compress the pocket that way, being able to bull rush, being able to use speed to power and power to speed. He can use it all, and he's a very good player. And I think I saw him, I believe he played interior defensive line, and then he thinned out and moved on the outside, which is awesome too because he can stop the run. He can do a little bit more than what you need, and he's a versatile player. And we did get him not at the top dollar, and he plays like a top dollar guy. I mean, he's not, of course, I mean, top dollar of the free agency this year. Like, Trey Hendrickson is a question mark. Honestly, he's a question mark. Everybody really in free agency is always a question mark, but especially Trey Hendrickson with what he provided the Bengals with, he's a really good player, but we saw him versus Will Campbell, and we saw him versus our O-line, and I mean, completely shut him down. He didn't really do anything, which I think our O-line's better than people give him credit for, but that's okay. Whatever. They're even better now. But I digress from that. Dre'Mont Jones, awesome player. He's going to also give that great culture vibe that helped the Patriots to the Super Bowl. You want to avoid not having a good culture. I get that coach doesn't win games. Yeah, but it also loses you games if you do not have it, because the Dolphins were one of the most talented teams we have seen realistically with all the athletes that they have on their team, and they were a dumpster fire. The Cowboys, great talent, dumpster fire. They have these teams that the Bengals, get they don't have a good defense, but they're dumpster fire. They do not perform well. The Panthers had a pretty good culture this past season, and they played above their weight class. I mean, of course, I know they went under 500. They snuck into the playoffs, but they bested their division, and sometimes that's all you need. And you give the Rams, who is one of the best teams, top 3 teams in the NFL last year, you give them a run for their money. The Ravens, their culture went totally downhill last year, and look what they turned in. I mean, they turned into just a dumpster fire of a team. So what I'm saying is really, you can have the talent, you can have the guys, but you have to be able to have that culture, that camaraderie. And I think that's so important, especially in the NFL where you don't get that as much. Even in new college where I don't think they get that as much. And I have a really good idea for college football, so I don't know if there are many people that are into college football, but if you are, we'll get to that at a different time. Maybe comment down below. Let me know if you think that it's a good idea, that you want to hear this idea. It's with the transfer portal. I had a genius idea. Anyway, so Dre'Mont Jones is a great pickup. Big fan. Now, let's go to the pickup that we're all thinking of. Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs he's going to be good, man. He was a good player for the Packers, and I think he was very underutilized, and they had a lot of the same style of receiver, and their quarterback play was very iffy. They had a good run game. They ran the ball a lot. Just in the playoff game against the Bears, Romeo Doubs really showed he played okay all season, but when they needed him the most, and of course I get they lost, but when they needed him the most in the playoffs, he had like 123 yards. I mean, he shows up when you need him. He runs great routes. He's 25. He's 25. And he has the ability to grow with Drake May, which I'm so excited about because we have a very underrated. I think that the receiver room is better than last year? With Doubs, honestly, I think it can be. I think Stephon Diggs was great for what the Patriots needed last year. But realistically, if you look, he had 7 games over 50 yards. One of that was, I think it was like 57 yards against the Raiders. So he got that against the Raiders, twice against the Jets. Of course, that Bills game. But then it was like, it was just like not, it was teams where it's like, they stink. Like, it's just, he didn't do it when they need him the most. And I get that there was different circumstances, this, that, and the other. But when you have a guy that you are going to possibly pay $27 million to, which they were going to this season, it's better to go faster, quicker, younger, and kind of the same skill set, but Doubs now has more. He has more juice than Diggs. Diggs was starting to look. I mean, he was a good competitor, but in the playoffs, he wilted away. In bigger games, he had a good one against Baltimore, and he had a good game against the Bills. The other games, he just kind of was there. And I think getting a guy that Diggs was high volume, low yardage because he didn't really have that much yak last year. But I feel like Doubs will be able to not just be the high volume guy that Diggs was, he'll be able to get a lot more yak. And I feel that Romeo Doubs' hands are, I mean, I don't want to say they're better than Diggs, but they're definitely not a decrease in reliability or quality. It's even or better. I mean, there's some catches that Doubs has where he's like that touchdown against Houston in the playoffs where he snags it and just grips it. Doubs has a touchdown against the Cowboys that is very, very similar to that catch. And he has very strong hands on the sidelines. He runs really, really, really good routes. I mean, it gets to a point where it's like, what do you want? Do you want a guy with good routes? Okay, Romeo Doubs. You don't like good routes, good speed, gets open, catches the ball, young. I mean, what else could you want? I get that it's not Jamar Chase, but this is a very, very, very high quality football player that can produce at a very high level, especially given the chance and the opportunity to. And I think Josh McDaniels will be able to unlock that out of him and be able to, especially, and Drake May, they'll be able to unlock that from him. And a better quarterback like Drake May will be able to unlock that with him. And he likes to throw the deep ball. Jordan Love likes to throw the deep ball, but he throws a very, very inaccurate deep ball. It can float on him, Jordan Love. It can float on Jordan Love. It can be underthrown. There could be just a lot. He can throw the ball in a good spot, but he also has some throws where it's like, what are you doing? His short throws are like, what are you doing? Like, he does not have touch on it, which as much as Drake May is just an all-around better quarterback, and he's kind of hinted at that Drake May is the guy. You can't miss out on that opportunity. And yeah, he could have maybe went. I don't think he really could have went back to Green Bay. I think they were priced out because they have a lot of guys that are similar to his traits, but I don't think are as good. But they don't have to pay those guys that have little bit lesser traits than Doubs, which you can't fault them for that, I guess, because they draft receivers pretty well and pretty frequently as well. So Doubs, he can catch that slot fade. He can catch catch that goal ball on the outside. Slants look great. Not only that, I can't believe I should have started with this. One thing that the Patriots really need is a guy inside the 5-yard line that can run a dang route. That can just run that can just cook some guy. And look, Romeo Doubs is a route artist on the goal line. He's unguardable on the goal line. He's too quick. His routes he has good patience, which is very key. Stephon Diggs was really good because he had really good patience. And Doubs is very similar to that way. But Doubs also has a little bit more explosiveness to him. Where kind of like what you saw Diggs used to have a little bit. But I think Doubs is a little... How I was thinking like the comparison, Stephon Diggs is like explosive because of like his fluidity. Like he's real fluid like that. Like he dances when he runs routes. Doubs is like he's just like whoa, like a snake. Like Diggs is that first part with like, and then by the time you realize it, you're wrapped around. Doubs is that viper. Doubs is like, oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? That's Doubs. Doubs is a dog. We got to come up with a good nickname for Doubs. Doubs. Romeo. We'll think of one. You guys think of one. Give me one in the comments. Just give me one in the comments. Because I think we got to come up with something for Doubs. We are his team. Like we signed him for 4 years, 3 or 4 years, whatever it is. He's gonna resign. Whenever that's done, he's gonna be our guy. That's our guy. That's Drake May's guy. You know, we gotta bring him in. He's our dude. Do not have any crazy things about his guardian cap. His guardian cap is gonna be our guardian cap. It's gonna be awesome. We got to figure out the guardian cap. I feel like I saw a video of NC State and they had a pretty cool one. It was like an extra shell on the outside. I don't really think the guardian cap really helps, but if you're going to wear it, they got to make it not that cloth thing. I mean, it's the National Football League. It's a professional football league. We can't be having these guys wearing cloth guardian caps. Got to figure that out. Wow. I mean, we look, we're New England. Boston, genius technical schools, and we got MIT, we got Harvard. Shoot, we got Yale. Shoot, I mean, UMass, BC, BU, of course. Everybody else. I mean, come on, we got some smart kids. To figure out. Hey guys, how about you guys figure out a guardian cap? You guys want to be the hub of smart schools? Figure it out. Okay? Figure it out. Anyway. Doubs is the man. I'm telling you, he's the man. Let me tell you, we're gonna be like, dang, we only got him we're only paying him that much in the middle of the season. We're gonna be like, how? We're not even gonna think about it. We're just gonna be like, this guy's unbelievable. But it's gonna be like, dang, this guy is a steal. I'm telling you, he's so good at football. He is so good at football. Contested catches, everything. He's the man. Drake May is gonna be just slinging that thing to him. He's 6'2" as well. He's not like 5. He has some decent size to him. Anyway, let's move on. Spending too much time on Romeo Doubs. I love Romeo Doubs. Maybe later on in the offseason, I'll do like another 5 minutes on just Doubs. I'll post a video. I don't know. I love that dude. Whatever. Anyway, he's the man. Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? In the end zone, don't you know? That was a bar. Anyway. Alijah Vera-Tucker. Now, here's a little controversial guy that not to me, but of course. Okay, look, here's the thing too. I'm not going to say if they have a bad signing, I'm going to be like, that's a bad signing. But realistically, if you look at these signings that this Patriots team has, I don't see a bad area. The only thing I wish we did maybe, and we'll get to this later, is maybe like another linebacker, but really you have Christian Ellis, you have Robert Spillane. We let go of Tavai, but now we do have Dre'Mont Jones who can play outside linebacker a little bit, so maybe he will play off ball a little bit. That might be interesting. He might play a little like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. But anyway, because we do run that little 3-4 front, so I wonder if he runs like if they play like 3-4 over. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But let's stay on the offense here. Alijah Vera-Tucker. Now, do I think it's a risk? Yes, I do. Paid him a good amount of money. It's a risk. But he's a really good player, and he played on the right side most of his career. He has said he has played on the left side, and he said that he will do anything, whatever the team needs, which is awesome to hear. He's a great player. The way he run blocks is like he run blocks like Morgan Moses run block. Like he's just a downhill mauls people. I saw there was a highlight of him somebody posted after we got him, after we got Vera-Tucker, and it was just Vera-Tucker on a pass block pancaking Jeffrey Simmons. It's like, what? So this dude is the real deal, and he's only 26 years old. So if he can stay healthy, which I think he can, because his two major injuries is the bicep tear. I believe it was a bicep tear, and I believe an Achilles, which those two are like big time injuries, but they're not like those injuries that linger. And he stayed that whole year last year, or he stayed off the field all year this past year, rehabilitated. He said he's ready. He's going to be ready to go by when it's time to go. He's going to be ready. So I'm really excited for him. It's if there was like let me think of an injury that I would kind of worry about would be more I don't even know, like soft tissue type stuff. Like if you tore like your quad. Because I feel like if you have like some muscles area, like things like that, those can, I feel like, I'm not a doctor. So this is just like yap sesh right now. I just feel like when guys have those soft tissue issue, they can kind of linger a little bit more. And I just don't think, especially with the doctors nowadays and the surgeries and the rehab and this, that, and the other, I just feel like, especially with him sitting the entire season, he didn't do it like in week 2 last year. He's just sat the whole season. I think he'll be a lot more ready to go, and it'll be okay. And it will take, like day 1 of training camp with pads. He's not going to look like the greatest guard of all time. He might, but there might be a little overreaction the first little bit because he's going to be playing most likely on the left side, left guard area. But man, he is a good player. He's a really good player. And I'm excited we got him because he's young. And it's just another thing where the skill set at his 26-year-old age could be very awesome for the Patriots. It could be very helpful in being able to grow with Drake. And now it's more of what do the Patriots do in this draft if they don't get, let's say, one more edge and maybe another outside receiver. Really, the only places that the Patriots have to draft is my number one area for the Patriots need is going to be edge. I think the edge rusher beats out the number 2 spot, which is outside tackle, right tackle. I don't know why I said outside tackle. What the hell is that? Anyway, I do think that edge beats out tackle just because Morgan, I think he has 2 more years on his contract, and he looked pretty good last year. I don't know, realistically, the Patriots don't have an edge other than Dre'Mont Jones. Don't have Clavon Chase on. Harold Landry well, actually, you know what? Elijah Ponder is edge. Braden Swinson might play edge. I think it's kind of more where I think tackle and edge are right in that same spot. They're 1A and 1B, and it's kind of more where the board falls is going to be. Do they go is an edge there that is going to be able to turn up on the edge and go crazy? Like is R. Mason Thomas, which I think he will be there. He's a little smaller, this, that, and the other. Do they which the Patriots did have a 30 visit with him, do they think that his skill set is more vital than getting a tackle in the second round? Do they think that the fall off? I think that's the key is, where do the Patriots find fall offs in the position groups? And we'll pull up this mock draft here in a second, and we'll kind of go through what I'm thinking is the fall off for these position groups. And then, but I think it's going to be edge and right tackle. It's going to be 1A, 1B. Matters where we are, who got picked in front, things like that. Then I think is receiver, which people might be saying receiver is the most important, but I really think that, I think Drake, here's the thing with this offense. I think Drake this year is going to get so much more keys to the offense, and he's going to be able to conduct the offense at a higher level and be able to get guys on the exact routes that he wants. And I know it's not Tom Brady. I know he's not Tom Brady year 3. I know that. I know. But the way this offense is run is very much like that. And Drake has a great mind for football. Everybody said so. You can see it. There's just a lot going on, and he picks it up. He knows where the blitzes are coming from. Seattle ate him up on the same 3 blitz, but I think he's going to know that that's what, he has a good ability to bounce back, and they're going to put a little bit more on his plate to be able to say, hey, I see this over here, like blah, 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 like let's change this. He's going to be able to change routes a little bit more, and I think it's going to free up the receivers a lot more, and him and Romeo Doubs, I think, is going to have a huge impact, because Romeo Doubs played with Aaron Rodgers, and he saw how Rodgers created at the line of scrimmage, and he saw how Rodgers could kind of manipulate routes and tell him like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And Romeo, I mean, he was only like a rookie, maybe second year as well. But just being in the building with him, just being able to have that knowledge is really awesome, and being able to relay that to Dre, be like, hey, look, hey, if you see this, like, we know that these guys are dropping to 7, like, I'll cut this off at 4 to give me a little bit of space. I'll throttle it down, I'll pace it out like this, and being able to say, like, just give information, and Drake being able to go watch the entire season, watch the entire playoffs, being like, my timing was off, my drop was a little bit off, I got to get into my drop set, my drop a little bit more. My 5-step drop needs to be a little bit crisper. I got to get the ball here. I'm hitching a little bit here. I see this guy. Like, he was processing a little bit differently. Like in the playoffs, I think he was thinking a little bit too much, trying to be perfect. And we saw that in his rookie year. Sometimes he tried to be perfect. And it's going to happen. Like, he's a young quarterback, and he has the entire pressure of the entire region, not just team, on his back. So you could see that he was operating just a little bit like just trying to verify, like, is that there? Yep. And then it was maybe sometimes a little bit too late, and that was sometimes causing things. So I think that will be different. And of course you could say, oh, but what if he doesn't? Yeah, but you always, like, we're changing this thing. Us, me, you, this little thing that we're building here with the Patriots, we're changing this. We're only looking forward. We're only looking better. We're not gonna say, sit there and dwell like, oh, what if this gets worse? No, look, they're gonna improve. Drake's gonna improve, and it's going to, just little tweaks here and there is going to extend this team to a different level. So I don't even know where I was going with that, but I was going with, that's why I don't think the receiver is number 1. I think just keep building around. And it's hard. It's hard to find an elite receiver. It really is hard, especially at pick 31. Like, I feel like you have just as good of a chance at 31 to have an elite receiver than in the second or third round. And that's kind of proven with a lot of guys that, if you look around the league, a lot of, like, Puka Nacua wasn't a top pick, there's guys that did fall because of one thing or another. Romeo Doubs fell to the 4th round because of one thing or another. Like, there's guys that are like that, especially in the receiver position. If you can get guys that look like they have good feel, good this, good that, you could get some steals down and if you have good knowledge about these receivers, which I think they're getting better, and everybody, this Patriots regime is not who they were 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Last year, they drafted really well. Kyle Williams was a great pick that the Patriots would have never picked in the past. He's going to be great this year too, and I think that the Patriots will build on that foundation of good players, and it will also translate to the receiver position. You just have to give it time because not every team, also other teams miss too. It happens, but that's not going to matter. Receiver is my number 2. So let's reset. I'm just going to go through real quick, not even explain, and then we'll go through. I think we got edge and tackle. We got receiver. And then we have linebacker as like our fourth spot. And then I would say that safety is probably number 5. 4 and 5, like the linebacker, same thing. Linebacker, safety is kind of in that same area. And then we're going to need some depth, defensive backs, because we did lose some guys. Alex Austin, we lost. In free agency, we did release him, which is okay. I mean, that's okay. He's a depth guy. But let's just go to this mock draft. Hold up. Wait 1 second. I forgot one crucial player in this free agency pool. No, we did have a couple more guys, but Reggie Gilliam, fullback from the Buffalo Bills. I mean, this guy is one of the best fullbacks in the league, and the Patriots got him. How did I forget? I mean, this dude is a beast. And the one thing that we needed an upgrade for that I just kept hoping Westover could have been that guy, and it's hard. Still could be in the future. But Reggie Gilliam is great. He's great run blocking, pass blocking he can do. He's even caught a couple passes, a couple touchdowns. He's great in the kickoff return. He can block really well in kickoff return. He sprung a couple really good kick returns. So that is awesome. I'm really excited for that guy. But I just had to bring this in here because I was just editing the video and I was like, oh my, I completely forgot about Reggie Gilliam. How did I forget about Reggie Gilliam? This guy's the man. He's going to transform this offense, especially in the short downs, short yardage areas. He's going to be a crucial player for this team. So I'm really excited for him as well. So yeah, but back to the mock draft. Mock draft for the Pats. We're going to do this PFF. We'll only do 3 rounds. Next weekend, we're going to, on Monday, stay tuned, subscribe, and so you get in this information. On Monday, I'm going to do a mock draft, and I'll do it on PFSN, and I'll do a full, maybe like 6. I'll do like a 5 or 6 round mock draft, so we can kind of see, because I do have a lot more information on guys that are later on in the draft that I think could suit the Patriots really well, that I like. So let's just get into this draft here. Let's start it up, and let's see. See, this is my fear. This is exactly my fear. And this is, honestly, guys, I think this is more likely on what's going to happen. Let's see. Let's see here. So this is kind of crazy, but I probably already passed him. No. Okay, hold on. Did R. Mason Thomas really drop? Okay, he just dropped to that 47 spot, which I think is real. I think that realistically is likely to happen. He just had a lot of injuries, and like I said about Alijah Vera-Tucker, he has those injuries that I kind of fear. I would fear going into the season with a quad injury. He played really well, but so this is the difficult thing. Let's go edge and let's go tackle. I think these are the 2 spots we got to take early. My last mock, I did R. Mason Thomas in 1, and I did Dunker in 2 in the second round, and then I did Bo Stevens in 3. And that was a fun, like, just trenches type thing, and I was excited about it. But let's get real about this team, because what do I think would be the best thing for the Patriots? And I think a guy that can get after the passer is really crucial, and I think a guy that can play right tackle in the future is huge. And it's really hard to get guys. This is the problem with 31, or the good thing and the problem with 31 is you miss out on a lot of the top guys, obviously. Now, is this an area that you're going to get an elite pass rusher? No. I mean, it's possible. But realistically, are you going to get like the guy at this area? I don't believe so. I think Cassius Howell's really good. Yeah, his combine, he was smaller. But I don't think Cassius Howell is like the elite of the elite. He could be. He has like a really good mentality. I like how he plays. Mesidor is a really good player. But this is really tough for the Patriots here, because we could also throw in receiver. Let's just throw in, and tight end. I forgot to say tight end in my thing. I feel like tight end is like right below receiver, honestly. But see, this is difficult. Now, guys, this would be like the toughest decision of all time. And it gets to, I like Skylar Bell. He's very Romeo Doubs, and we kind of just filled that. So let's go position by position. I know I'm all over the place, but let's just go position by position, what I think here, honestly. Receiver. We need an outside receiver. Okay, Kyle Williams is about that 5'11", 6-foot area. Kayshon Boutte, 5'11", 6-foot area. Mac Hollins is older, 6 foot, whatever. We need a guy that can go up and get the ball. Now, is that going to be this? Is Denzel Boston going to fall? And is he going to be the guy that the Patriots need? 6'4", 209 pounds. He's really good in contested catch areas. I like how he plays. He's a really good player. He didn't perform in the combine like people thought he was going to, but I don't really care about that personally. The other guy I like is Chris Bell, but he's not going to be ready right away, which for the Patriots might be okay, but he is that 6'2", like he is that AJ Brown-esque type guy where he's a bigger body type dude and can get open. Jeremy Bernard. So this is about where I think it separates. These guys I think are in the like that second tier. Number 1 tier is obviously like Tyson and those guys. I do think these guys are in that second tier where it's kind of pick your poison. What do you need? What do you want? What do you like? I like Denzel Boston a lot. If he falls, man, that's going to be really hard to pass up. That's going to be a very hard pass up because I do like Brazel. It's just like with Jalen Hyatt right now for the Giants, man, he's kind of who everybody thought he was. Like fast, he could catch the ball, like he can catch the goal ball, this, that, and the other, but really he just isn't panning out for the Giants what they wanted. Bryce Lance, I really like, actually. Trey Lance's brother, 6'3", 209. He has that lanky, I guess you could even say, now he's not this guy, but he has like that Justin Jefferson type build where he's lanky, like he moves, like he flows. Not as good, obviously not as good, but that's if you want like a visual on what I think his play style is kind of like. Now, do I think that fits the Patriots? It could. You could figure out a way to have that type of guy in the system. He's good at contested catches. He can catch contested catches. The only issue is NDSU. Did he see the best competition? No. He did end up playing last year. He played Colorado and played what's his face? Travis Hunter, and I think he had like no catches in that game. So that's scary. But back-to-back 1,000 yards. I get it was in the FCS, but that's still impressive. 8 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns last year. That's impressive to me. That's impressive. So if you pass up, that's a guy. Malachi Fields is a guy you can get later on, which I like. Brazel is a guy that I do like, but I'm iffy on. Denzel Boston is very intriguing. And this is where what I said, I'm going to try to speed up a little bit, but I'm not going to be like blazing through because this is kind of the fun part, and I think you guys would like this part as well. Wagner, I do like Wagner. I think this PFF, also PFF. Let's remember PFF is not that reliable. 1 sack allowed last year, which is very good, and he played in a run game that was very efficient last year with Notre Dame, and I really like that pick as like a late round pick. I feel like 177 is kind of late for a offensive tackle from Notre Dame. I feel like they can always be kind of effective. Caleb Tiernan, he's only left, but maybe could play that swing role. I don't know. I do like his size, 6'7", 325, but is he like the guy? I don't know. Jennings Dunker, I've been seeing stuff where he might be on the smaller side, 6'5", 315, but I guess his arm length might be smaller. I guess that doesn't really matter to the Patriots, obviously, and it doesn't matter to me, and I don't think it should matter to you guys either. Lomu, I'm not a huge fan of. He plays on the left, and I'm not a huge fan of him. Markel Bell. So, like, these guys can play football. Jude Bowery. And it's like, do you want to get a guy in the first round that Ehan Shore? He's a good player. I like Ehan Shore. But he's a project. And you risk a project that early? I don't know. I don't think so. I think, honestly, if Denzel Boston drops, these guys are really good, and Zion Young is my favorite player. But, man, I don't know. Zion Young is my favorite player. I love Zion Young. Look, we're gonna do something a little different than usual. I've never done this in a mock. Denzel Boston dropping, and I know whatever. He's not Jalen Polk. Let's remember that. He's not a Dunze. He's a different guy, and he runs different, and he plays really well. And I think he can be very effective. When he was a sophomore, was that a sophomore? No, when he was a freshman, he played behind Rome and Jalen Polk. But that doesn't mean anything. He was a freshman. Those guys went in first and second round. So I think if you get to this point and Denzel Boston is sitting there, I like Cooper. And I know a lot of people might be saying he's so good yet, but he does play that same role. And you have to then think, is that going to be what the Patriots need? We have that role filled in Romeo Doubs / Kyle Williams. Same thing with Casey Concepcion, who I really like. A lot of drops, but I do like his game. He's very Kyle Williams, very Romeo Doubs type player. So I say you go with this Denzel Boston. You go with the size. You go with like that little, even that Puka feel. And you go with Denzel Boston. Bring Denzel Boston to Boston. And I think that would be, for the Patriots, that would be awesome. Now, that kind of throws a wrench in what I said earlier, where I said, hey, the number one thing is tackle and edge. But in the draft, you do not draft for need, okay? You don't draft because you need this position. We're not filling a spot that is like, we have to get this position. We have to. You're not drafting for that. And of course, if they get A.J. Brown, that might look a little different. But we're not projecting A.J. Brown's on this team because he's not, and he has to be traded. So we're not doing that. We're not doing Brian Thomas. We're not doing any of those players. We're not doing that. What we're doing is seeing what we have on the team, and we're going after it that way. So this is currently what I think. Markel Bell is freaking intriguing. He's like 6'9". He's ginormous. He plays left, but that would be really fun if he was on this team. I'm just kind of clicking through guys so you can see Brian Parker. he's a decent player, and I think he could be a good player to sit behind and maybe figure it out. But what I say you go with here, not running back. Oops. Game off. And let's just look at tight ends too, just for fun. I like Sam Roush. He has a smaller wingspan, but I do like him. I like his size. I like Marlon Klein. I like Dallin Bentley because he's a bigger body. For me, tight ends, I don't really care for like the super athletic, unbelievable. Because those guys, I mean, they can be good, but I want the tight end to be able to block. Let's just use these guys as reference. I want the Gronkowski, not the Kelsey. I want the guy that can block and also catch and just have 8 guys hanging all over him instead of like the shit. I would rather a guy that is just huge and can get bigger. I like this Kitzelman. I like this guy a lot, actually. He's bigger. He's not the greatest blocker, which is kind of like, but he has like a little bit to him. He has a little edge to him, which I like. And I feel like if you get him in this offense, it could be fun. Could be fun, like 4th round guy, 5th round guy, something like that. So what I'm going to do here, actually, in the 2nd round is go to this edge area. And there is a guy on this board, on this area that I'm looking at, and I think, there is a player that he played with that is exactly like he is. That got drafted very, very early. This dude, Romello Height, I don't know why he's like, if he's here in the 2nd round, you have to sprint to the thingamabob and get this guy. I mean, he's really good, man. This guy is really good at football. He is older, which is so annoying that he's going to be 25 when he gets to the league, which does kind of like not turn me off, but it does make me be like, I like this Nadam Tucker actually a lot. Nadam Tucker's really good. I watched him in the Senior Bowl, I think. He is a fun watch. He's athletic. He's got some power to him. But he hasn't played. The only issue is he hasn't played since he was a redshirt senior. So this is his 5th year, and he finally got playing time. Of course, he got 14 sacks. But that does kind of scare me a little bit, is that he only played 1 game last year. 8 games the year before, and it looks like I didn't know if he got hurt or not. It looks like he might have got hurt, but I'm not too sure. But that's the only thing that's kind of throwing me off with him, that maybe if he's there later. This Hutchins, I like him. Caden Curry, I like him. Those guys, obviously not for the 2nd round, but I'm just kind of saying I do like these types of dudes. Joshua Josephs, I like. He's just a little too small. And I don't like to see a lack of productivity. I personally don't like to see a lack of productivity because we've seen guys, especially the 2 guys out of A&M last year, they didn't have that great of productivity, and they're not gonna. If you're not productive, and this is why I don't like certain dudes like TJ Parker. And no offense, TJ Parker, but like, if you don't have productivity in college, which I get that he played in a different scheme, I don't care. You're in college. You're supposed to be, if you're a 1st round pick, you're supposed to be an explosive elite athlete. And if you're not producing at a high level, at not the highest level at college, it just is it's a huge red flag for me. It's a giant red flag for me, especially at the edge position where really scheme, I don't mean to say scheme doesn't matter, but scheme doesn't matter as much. Danny Dennis Sutton, I keep trying to really like this guy. And let me just say, if we did get him, I wouldn't be like pissed, but I don't think he plays with the grit that I would hope. That every time I click on the game, I'm like, I'm just hoping he's like elite, and then I see him and I'm like, it just seems like he doesn't play with like tenacity and eagerness, and like it just doesn't seem like he plays how I want that type of guy to play. Like a defensive guy on the line. It's just is like, bro, just come on, man. Now, this is I don't know if Eli Stowers is dropping to this area. I don't think he would. I think he's gone by year. So I'm going to respect, look, if he is here, we should take, if he's here, if Eli Stowers is here at this point in the draft, we should take him immediately. I just don't believe he will, and I'm not going to take him here because I just don't think that's genuine. I don't think that that's what's going to happen. Just don't see it. I really just don't see that, him falling. So I'm not going to take him. And it's not because I don't like him. I love this player for what he can be, not for the tight end. I know I said I like tight ends being blah, 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 but in the second round with that, if he drops, we should pick him. But we need an edge. We need an edge, and we need a tackle. I know I've been sitting on this for a while, but I just kind of want to go through my thought process of what I kind of think the Patriots should do here, what they should look at. And we need a like edge bender, and we need a great tackle. And I think the position for tackle, I think you pick an edge here and you kind of get this Brian Parker. That's kind of a hint at what I'm thinking for this next thing. But Romello height, I say you don't really care about the age, honestly, because realistically he's 25 when we draft him, and at the end of his 4 or 5 years on the contract, he'll be 29-ish, give or take. I don't know when his dang birthday is or whatever, but it's not going to be like we draft. It's going to be kind of like the Hawkins signing where it's like you get him, he's effective, he can fill in, he could be that pass rushing guy. We have Dre'Mont Jones, we have Elijah Ponder coming in, hopefully Harold Landry. Hopefully we have these guys, and when we need a guy to turn up on the edge, we have that young guy that can fill in spot roles and be able to produce. We can't think like, oh, the draft is going to be that position that guys are just going to soar and every single player is going to be a huge hit and a huge blah, blah. I don't think every player is like that. I just don't. Kerryon Crawford, I wouldn't be upset. Like, these two dudes, I don't like these two guys, honestly. I don't like Joshua Josephs or Danny for us, for the Patriots defense. I don't love these two guys. I would say Romello Height or Kerryon Crawford. Crawford is, I think, 22. Yeah, 22 years old. If I'm the Patriots and I'm sitting here and I'm on the clock, I'm either trading down, maybe trying to trade up to, obviously we can't do that now and whatever. I'm going to say Romello Height is my guy in this spot. Because I think, like I said, you get him for that edge rushing, spot rushing as a rookie. You get him in there. You have him on the edge. You have him play, like, let's say 20 snaps a game to start off the 10, 15 snaps to 20 snaps to start off the year. And in like passing down situations, let Harold Landry kind of breathe. Sometimes you swap them out with each other. It's kind of like that same whatever. Romello can get the edge. I think he could be a really good player. He has a great bend to him. He has 42 hurries and 9 sacks, 11 quarterback hits in 350 pass snaps. I mean, that's just really good. I think it's worth it to go for a guy that's a little bit older. And it doesn't matter. Receiver, if Brazel's there, that'd be cool. Like, if we didn't pick whatever Brazel, that's where I would maybe take a shot at him if he's still there. I know I said he might not, blah, 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 but it doesn't matter. So this is also this would be a fun area for Bryce Lance. Maybe trade down a little bit, trade back, and then get that Bryce Lance area. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So this is where I would go look at these tackles, and I would either say Markel Bell. You say, hey Markel, this is where the conversations are good, and we have a really good connection with Miami, and you say, can you play right tackle in your pro day? Can you swap to your right and see how effective you are? Let's see how you move. Let's put on the blah blah blah. Let's see how you work. if he works well and you like how he moves on the right side, which is different, it's like it's a lot more. It's a lot different than people think. Like moving from the left to the right, and it's their power hand. Their wide hand. Their punching style is different. Their drop steps are different. Their pass sets are different. I mean, so it is a lot different. But if you could get a guy like Markel Bell that's huge and being able to be that right side for Drake, that would be fun. But where I'm leaning a little bit more, I'm just gonna kind of click. Not this guy. Oh, he plays a little bit of center. That's interesting. That is very interesting. See, if we have Bill Belichick, that guy's being picked in the second round because he played center and also tackle. Let's just be real. I love Belichick. I love for what he did, but we all know what's going on now, and it's like, ooh, I just clicked on him. Isaiah World, he stinks, right? Yeah, he stunk. No offense, Isaiah, if you're watching this. I like Wagner too. Like Wagner might be a fun to let this. I would say, okay, sorry, I just shook the thing. In my opinion, my honest opinion, I think Wagner goes higher. I think Wagner goes a lot higher. But I'm gonna say for us, if you're like sitting here and it's like I keep drafting tackles and it's so annoying and it's like, ugh. But I was gonna say, blah, blah, blah. This would be a fun. Zach Wheatley would be a really fun pick in this area because of what we have. We have Byard. There's just a lot of good players. Like not great players, but this Stroman. I like Stroman. I think he has decent size too. 6'1", 201. Yeah, I like Stroman. Bud Clark. I think he played in the Senior Bowl a little bit, and he looked pretty good. But this might be an area where they pull the trigger on maybe a Zach Wheatley. Could be. This could be area tight end. Nah, it's not going to be tight end area. But let's just, this is like my most realistic, not most realistic, but this is a realistic, I would be very happy with this pick. Brian Parker, I do really like Brian Parker. 6'5", 305. He's a little bit on the smaller side, but it's like, I don't know. I think Amal Wagner is a really good player. Emil Wagner. You can't go wrong. Honestly, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with a Notre Dame tackle. And I know this is crazy, and I know it looks ridiculous with what this is, but there's a lot of players that I don't think PFF, I think PFF really just ranks because of their ranking, and I don't think they take into account how like team success or player success or things like that. Because 4 sacks, 80 overall grade, and he's ranked 114th. But then you have a guy like Amal Wagner who has 3 sacks his entire career and 68 grade. Like that, I just don't see a 68 grade when I watch Notre Dame, and I've watched them a lot this year. Just because they have so many decent players, so many good players. Rucci might be fun too. I did watch them. He's huge, obviously. So this could be an area. I do like the depth in tackle. Like the secondary depth in tackle is a lot of fun. So maybe you even say, hey, how savage would it be if the Patriots double dip on a receiver? That would be crazy. Bryce Botcher, I really like. You know what? I think Bryce Botcher is the guy. Actually, I think Bryce Botcher is the guy because my sleeper pick is Jeff Caldwell. That's my sleeper pick. Hopefully we get him in like the 10th round. Obviously, I know there's 7. But we're going Bryce Botcher for this last pick. I know Caleb Elam Orr is picking up a lot of steam. Might be better. Everything is so... Red Murdoch is a lot of fun. Bryce Botcher is a good player. Caleb Elam-Orr is a really good player. I like Bryce Botcher though, personally. Like I think he does a lot of good things. They're very similar. What do you guys think? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper. Keep scissors. What the hell, man? If this was me, I would probably go with the Oregon guy, personally. And I know, and then the next round, I would go with. Now, if they like Markel Bell, if they think he can switch, they would go right with him. But we keep doing, I keep talking about tackles and stuff, and like, Snorefest. Like, safety would be a lot of fun too if they just went and got Zach Wheatley. I think that could be a lot of fun. I think Zach Wheatley would be the pick right here. You go Zach Wheatley in the third. He's a really good player. He's rangy. He can come up, make hits. He can play really good football. I really like who he is, like, as a player. And yeah, I think this would be a really fun thing. It's all circumstantial, of course, like every other draft and every other thing. It's really tough to say like what they're going to do, because you don't know these interviews and everything, how the interview process goes. But with what we've built as a team in free agency and needing that top receiver, which could be Denzel Boston there, that would be a lot of fun. And then the tackle position does get kind of clumped together, and I think that's why the ranking is so low for a lot of guys, is because there's so much depth at tackle. Like, once it gets past a certain thing, they're like all pretty similar players. It just matters like who fits in what spot. So I think that could be interesting to see where that fits. Linebacker, there's a lot of linebackers left as we saw, so I think that would be kind of silly to take one of those guys early. Maybe even double dip on edge if we had to. If we went earlier on like a Zion Young, and you could get that Romelo, you could go like that double dip action. I know the Falcons did that last year. They did in the first round, which was interesting. But it's all dependent on what's on the board, and sometimes it's the way it falls. And if you can move up, move down, a lot of things would be different. But I would be okay with Denzel Boston, Romello Height, and Zach Wheatley being our first 3 picks, and being able to have a skill position, have an edge rusher, and then have a safety. And that tackle position is a developmental tackle who, let's just say, next year, like, we get a developmental tackle. Morgan Moses does well this year, and we can be able to still get a tackle next year, hopefully at 32, and be in that same position that we are this year. Never know. Like, that could be a very good possibility. And I do know they like some of their guys that are in the building. Bryant, right tackle, we got in like the 6th, 7th round. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk about some free agency stuff. I wanted to do a quick mock draft after the free agency. Monday, we will be doing a full, like, maybe 5 or 6 round mock draft, and I'll be a little bit more. I can maybe pick for exactly needs, or I can pick for things like that. That won't be. Maybe it's like not as real. I do want to do realistic, but you don't draft for the need of the team. You draft for like the best available for like a spot that you can use. So that's kind of what I did here with these guys. But maybe we'll do exactly like, okay, we need these guys, so let's fill these holes first, and then we'll try to fill in the gaps, or we'll see. I like drafting like this, where I just kind of pick whatever and see what falls in the draft and see what happens. But that's all right. Anyway, thanks for watching the No Name Unknown podcast. That might be the name. That might be the name of the podcast. Maybe like unnamed unknown podcast. Unnamed unknown unnamed unknown unnamed unknown. Yeah, unnamed unknown podcast. Might be kind of cool. Maybe let me know if you're still watching. which I don't know if anybody still is, but if you are, it might be the name. Let me know what you think. But yeah, thank you. If you're still here watching this, thank you for watching, sticking around, just enjoying what we're talking about here. And yeah, we'll do some more mock drafts now that the draft season's coming up next month. It's coming up real quick, so they're doing some more meetings. We'll see who the Patriots do their 30 visits with, and yeah, we'll keep moving on, and we'll keep hoping the Patriots keep getting better, because I do think this free agency, I do think in March right now we are better than we were last March. I do think we are getting improving. I think this team's moving in the right direction, and I'm very excited for it. I'm very happy. Yeah, my hair looks crazy. I washed it and threw my hat on. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Later.